Good evening, Tallahassee, and welcome back for the spring semester. I'm student meteorologist AJ Willie.
And I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes. We've had a beautiful day today. I mean, it's a great day to walk outside.
Yeah, temperatures were definitely below average. Only got up into the lower 50s, but no precipitation to deal with. Definitely wasn't as nice as it was over the weekend, but more sunshine is expected throughout the week.
I'll take it, though, with that high pressure over us for the next few days. Driving that cloud cover away for a bit, too, which will be really nice, so we can sort of warm up a bit more, too.
Yeah, at least we didn't have to deal with what pretty much everybody in the Northeast and the Midwest was having to deal with all weekend. Some places got up to 12 inches of snow. So thankfully we didn't have to deal with any of that.
My parents actually got a dusting out in New Jersey. I know a lot of the kids were hoping it was going to go into Monday morning so they'd have a snow day, but they were not that lucky this time.
My hometown in Virginia actually got 5 inches, and they were out of school today too. So definitely a big snowstorm that came through that last weekend. Potentially another one coming through this weekend that we'll have a look later on in the show.
Especially with California is expecting to get this massive storm coming into their area. It's going to be their biggest one this season. Expecting a lot of rain, snow, and gusty winds.
Yeah, and after that system, we got another system coming after that that's going to bring us some cooler temperatures for the next week or two here in Tallahassee as well. So that's definitely something we'll be talking about later on in the show and as we continue throughout the week.
Yep, hopefully getting to feel a bit more like winter out here, but we're going to pass things off to Sammy at the wall to give you the overview.
Throughout all of today, no sunshine pretty much all day, but tomorrow we will expect more sunshine. But as far as our satellite and radar, you can see throughout the day, that's all the clouds that have been persisting. But going into our current conditions, you can see Tallahassee is at 50 degrees. We hit about 52 today, so pretty close to what we are at right now. Perry is 52. Apalachicola is already in the 40s for tonight. 49 degrees for Apalachicola and Quincy. For tonight's forecast, starting to drop into the 30s, 39 for Tallahassee and Apalachicola, while Quincy is at 37 degrees. So pretty much staying in those low 40s and late 30s. Looking at our day planner though, warming up from a 35 degrees all the way to about 61 around 4 p.m. Expect plenty of sunshine for tomorrow. Make sure you layer up. Now I'm going to pass things over to Jake.
All right, thank you, Sam. We're going to zoom things out to the southeast to get ourselves going here. We'll have our more detailed local forecast with Sloan in a little bit. First of all, we'll just look at the headlines for tonight's show. Another chilly night's going to be ahead. Sunny and cool Tuesday on the way with our next big rain chance coming up this weekend. A big cool down to be expected after that, although we're going to have more details later in the week for you guys. Looking at the temperatures across the southeast, that cooler air is settling into many areas with the exception of central and southern Florida. 40s anywhere else across the map, parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, down into the lower 40s already, just past sunset in some of these spots. Some of these spots over to the west even still have the sun being up right now, so those temperatures will be expected to drop even further over the next couple of hours. Aloft, not really too much going on. Some pretty dry air settling in over the Gulf, this pretty general west to east flow pattern. Nothing really too exciting going on here, and that's contributing to generally just some low clouds and nothing really in the way of rainfall for a good chunk of the region as well. And we see that right there in the satellite and radar. Just these thin clouds, mostly at the lower levels of the atmosphere, below about 5,000 feet over here in Tallahassee for the entirety of the day, even though we were, for the most part, overcast. The only rain you really see is, say, in extreme southern Texas near the Mexico border. Otherwise, really nothing going on even over the Gulf of Mexico, which is a good thing considering all of the river flooding concerns in parts of Mississippi, Alabama, over down towards the Mississippi River on the Mississippi-Louisiana border, and some other areas in eastern Texas as well, with plenty of rainfall they've experienced there in recent weeks. As far as the dew points are concerned, 30s, very dry air starting to settle in as well in areas to our west especially, and that's going to continue moving its way off to the east over the next few hours, the overnight hours for us in Tallahassee, so we can see these dew points or we can expect these to continue to drop for the next few hours for us. 31-degree dew point being the low number out there in Little Rock, and again, southern Florida, albeit with those dew points around 60 degrees, that is still below average for this time of year, so they're experiencing some comparatively dry air compared to what they are used to seeing. And really for the next 24 hours, not really too much activity going on. You see that general northerly flow with these clouds kind of shifting off to the south gradually here through the overnight hours into Tuesday. Could see a couple scattered showers over the Gulf of Mexico. Otherwise, a pretty sunny day in store for much of the southeast for tomorrow. So looking like a fantastic day out there. Gonna have to get through some cooler conditions tonight, though, before that. 30-degree low in Little Rock. Some spots could get into the 20s in parts of Arkansas as well as Mississippi. If I step off to the side, here's some slightly warmer air again in South Florida, but comparatively cool. A low of 57 degrees at Miami and some 40s even along the I-4 corridor up from Tampa through Orlando and all the way up to Daytona Beach. Lows dropping into the 30s for us here in Tallahassee and setting up for another beautiful day tomorrow, albeit with some below average temperatures once again. Partly cloudy skies with a high of 52 degrees in Jackson and just a perfect day right down in Central Florida and Orlando with a high of 66. But now we're going to zoom back into the Tallahassee area with Sloan.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier today, it's been cloudy for most of the day. Clouds coming in and out earlier this morning, but currently it is 50 degrees, and we do have those winds coming from the north, which are driving those clouds offshore into the Gulf currently. If we take a look at here we go, the satellite radar, we see these clouds moving down, as I've just said, moving south, causing us to hopefully clear up into the later hours this evening. But throughout most of the Big Bend region, we do see temperatures sticking to the mid-upper 40s to the lower 50s, partly cloudy conditions again for most of the region. Apalachicola earlier didn't have a lot of cloud cover, I noticed, but right now they're getting these clouds coming down to the south, hopefully going into the Gulf with these offshore winds here that I've been talking about. Variable, pretty light too, under 10 miles per hour, which is ideal, so not causing us to be too chilly of a day either. Dew points are pretty dry. We have that high pressure dominating our region, which explains those winds going offshore right now. So hopefully with this high pressure, we do dry out a bit more, but again, that moisture will return later this week. For tonight, we can expect it to be chilly and clear, winds still coming from the north, 39 degrees. So if you are going to be outside tonight, please make sure that you do have a jacket on you. Make sure you layer up a bit, especially if you're going to be going out late into the evening. Over the next 24 hours, you do see it's partly cloudy about midnight tonight, starting to clear up a bit more towards the southern portion of our region. But into the morning, we do see it clears up pretty nice, but we're going to have that chilly start again in the 30s when we go to class around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So keep that jacket handy because it isn't going to really warm up too much as that sun comes into the picture here with that high near 60 degrees. 60 degrees really isn't that warm. I know my friends are all from South Florida and they always wear their winter jackets to class when it's 60 degrees outside. So if you do get cold easily, keep that jacket on hand. Tomorrow, 59 degrees, layer up as I've said, and winds still coming from the north as that high pressure comes into the southeast. 8 a.m. waking up at 35 degrees, but by noon we're heating up to about a 53, but then by the mid-afternoon, early evening, 61 degrees, reaching that high, and then tomorrow, high mid-50s and sun in sight for all of the Big Bend region. Taking a look at the next 7 days, we do see the sun remaining Tuesday into Wednesday. Temperatures, though, are beginning to increase back into the 70s, as well as that rain coming back into the picture this weekend. I'm going to pass things on to the desk with Jake and Sammy.
Thank you, Sloan. So here on this Monday, we are starting to enter into Severe Weather Awareness Week.
Yeah, so this is for the entire state of Florida, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, it's the middle of January and it snowed a year ago. Why are we talking about severe weather? Please recall, a couple years ago on January 22nd, we had one of the biggest severe weather outbreaks that we've seen in quite some time around here with the dreaded high risk from the Storm Prediction Center. So it can really happen at any time.
Speaking of that, too, we are starting out Monday with lightning, so we're going to talk about a few lightning facts, why lightning is a risk, and yeah. So for the week though, lightning on Monday, Tuesday is marine hazards
and rip currents.
Rip currents.
Yeah, and then Wednesday we're going to be talking about thunderstorms and tornadoes. We'll have desk segments on these every day this week. Hurricanes and flooding, obviously a big concern for us around here the last few years on Thursday. And then Friday we'll wrap up the week talking about temperature extremes and wildfires and some of the risks and ways to prevent or to keep yourself safe in those situations.
Mm-hmm. And especially in Florida, lightning is important because Tampa is the lightning capital of the United States. So we're talking about lightning hitting the ground about 25 million times per year.
Right, and that's across the United States. Florida gets over 1 million of those. And think about, the area of the state, so much water all around us, not too much land area. Per square mile, Florida is the national leader in terms of lightning strikes. You were talking about the whole Tampa thing. The Tampa Bay Lightning, there's a reason that the hockey team has that name down there. So we have the most lightning strikes per year. We've also, unfortunately, been seeing the most lightning casualties.
Yeah, actually, 7 out of 20 lightning fatalities have been in Florida.
In 2018, yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
So just take caution. A car is always a safe place to be. In a lightning storm, make sure you're under shelter, not a tree though.
Exactly. The slogan we always throw out there is when thunder roars, go indoors. And we really mean it for you guys out there, because you don't even have to be in the core of a thunderstorm to have these things happen, right? There's these things called bolts from the blue, where you can have lightning striking in excess of 10 miles out from the core of a thunderstorm. Some have been documented even as far out as 25 miles away. So if you hear thunder, that is your cue to get inside if you can.
Yeah, exactly. Lightning actually does travel at the speed of sound, which is roughly 1 mile every 5 seconds.
Right, so you can get an idea for how far it is away just by counting the amount of time between when you see that lightning flash and when you hear that rumble of thunder.
Well, that's it for lightning. We're going to take things off to the national now.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on throughout the nation. Plenty of winter-like temperatures draped across the entire northern half of the United States. 28 degrees still in Kansas City, 25 degrees in Chicago. So not getting to see any of that snow from the winter storm that passed through over the weekend melt, which could be a concern if that snow does melt, which will create some black ice across many parts of the United States. 50 degrees here in Tallahassee and a beautiful 72 degrees down in Miami, keeping things on the warmer side. Dew points are very winter-like throughout much of the United States as well, getting into chapstick season as we progress throughout this month of January. 38 degrees dew point down in New Orleans, 32-degree dew point in Memphis. A little bit more moisture down here in Florida and on the West Coast as they're starting to see the next system move into their area. Our winds, you can see the winter storm that came through over the weekend way off on the East Coast now. Mostly calm winds as we see high pressure dominate throughout much of the southeast. And then you see some gusty conditions out west as you see this next system start to make its way onto the coast, and that's what we're really going to be keeping an eye on as we progress throughout the week. Your upper level water vapor shows plenty of available moisture throughout the atmosphere in California. And you can see as we zoom into satellite and radar here, that is really accounting for all of this rain and snow, even some heavy rain expected throughout parts of Southern California. And after they saw all the wildfires late in 2018, this rain is presenting a lot of opportunity for mudslides, some flash floods, even some winter weather advisories in the upper elevations. You can see here we got flash floods all the way down to the Mexico border up to north of Los Angeles, and some winter storm warnings as you get into the Sierra Nevadas and up into Nevada as well. Zooming on out to tonight's forecast, looking at temperatures in the low 20s throughout the Rocky Mountain area, into the mid-20s throughout the Midwest as well. And as we look into the East Coast here, colder temperatures, 39 degrees here in Tallahassee, 32 in Atlanta, 27 degrees up in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C. As we get into tomorrow, still seeing some wintry conditions throughout much of the East Coast, warming up to just about 60 degrees here in Tallahassee, beautiful 74 degrees in Miami. Should be getting some snow removal as we get into Washington, D.C. and up into the Northeast, with those temperatures climbing up into the upper 30s. Our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook that I teased earlier in the show has temperatures colder than average for this time of year as we get into the next 7 days. So if you're a fan of the colder weather, you definitely got something to look forward to as we get into next week. But for now, I'm going to send things over to Jake with a look at our local 2.
All right, thank you, AJ. Some of the coldest air of the winter are going to be working into some parts of the Midwest, eastern portion of the country over the next week or so is what we're looking at right about now. And we might get in on some of that action, too, around here next weekend, but we'll see what to deal with for the next few days in advance of that. Currently, 50-degree conditions right now, cloudy skies, mostly some low-hanging clouds, not really anything of a rain threat going on, and pretty calm conditions otherwise with winds out of the north at about 8 miles per hour. It's been a little bit of a breezy one out there, making things feel maybe a touch cooler than some of us would like out there, but otherwise not really looking at too bad of a day at all around Tallahassee. For the current conditions around the region, some spots up to our north and west starting to see the temperatures drop even more into the 40s. Quincy at 46 degrees, Thomasville at 46, and even Apalachicola with that northerly wind keeping away that influence of the Gulf of Mexico, keeping those temperatures all the way down in the 40s at 49 degrees. And those will continue to drop with drier air also filtering in here out of the north and west. Dew points down in the 30s in Bainbridge as well as Apalachicola, even a lower dew point over there than what they're seeing in Tallahassee right now. So pretty indicative of that northerly flow regime that we're starting to see really settling its way into our region through the day today, and we're seeing that right here. Northwesterly winds for most of the area, generally in that 5 to 10 mile per hour territory. Otherwise, not really anything going on there. So bringing in some cooler air as we've gotten our day going here out of the north and west, and making things feel a little bit on the chilly side. But aloft, we're seeing mostly west to east flow. It's a pretty dry air, especially off to the south and west over portions of the Gulf of Mexico. This is for the 15 to 30,000 feet levels in the upper part of the atmosphere. So nothing really supportive of any kind of deep moisture or a big-time rain potential to work with anytime soon for us. And moving into the radar, again, not really anything going on as well. Just some thin, low clouds, and that's been the case all day. Those will continue to thin out as we go into the day tomorrow. And we'll see that right here in our forecasts. Already seeing those clouds starting to thin out in the overnight hours here, looking for a partly cloudy night ahead for most of us in the region. By the time we wake up tomorrow here, clouds are going to continue to thin, setting up for just a fantastic afternoon for us all across town. Sunny conditions. High is going to be near 60 degrees for most of the area. That light north to northwesterly wind going to be continuing for us. As for tonight, temperatures dropping into the upper 30s, 39 degrees, chilly, and those skies will be gradually clearing for us. Winds out of the north-northwest at 6 miles per hour. The combination of the cloudiness lingering around as well as those winds going to help to keep temperatures just a little bit higher than some of the stuff we could be seeing later on towards the weekend. Some spots off to our north and west going to be seeing cooler temperatures into the mid to upper 30s in some spots, setting up for a day of about 60-degree temperatures tomorrow. 59 is our exact high temperature forecast. Warming up gradually throughout the day with those bright and sunny skies sticking around for us. And as for tomorrow, upper 50s for most of the region. Perry staying in the lower 60s at 61 degrees, but sunny skies throughout. And those sunny skies will stick around Tuesday through Thursday. Temperatures gradually warming just a little bit there as those clear skies persist. We'll see those lows dropping as well before our next big rain chances work their way in Friday through Sunday. And then Sunday night, you see the evidence of that big cool down on its way in. Going to take things over to the desk now with Sammy and Sloan.
Thanks, Jake. We do see that moisture and rainfall beginning to return to our region later this week, but Fresno area of California has already experienced their latest storm coming into their region, which is expected to hit them full force by Wednesday, but they're already experiencing some of the signs now.
The National Weather Service even coined it as the strongest storm to hit this season so far. So pretty big storm. We're talking lots of rain, wind, and even snow.
They've also already begun to feel the winds today. Semi-trucks have been reported to be overturned along the Fresno highways, and also this rain they've been experiencing it. Light showers right now with snow beginning to stick in about Grapevine, they've been saying, and that's going to continue into Thursday, into Friday as well with upper levels in the Sierra Nevadas that we're going to have up to 1 to 3 feet of snow.
So yeah, some areas getting snow, mostly rain though. Rain concerning around the LA area. We're talking about the burn scar area. Now that can cause flooding and even mudslides, which are a big concern around that area for traveling as well.
They're beginning to experience all of this now before the storm even hits due to that polar jet that's turned the storm towards the Fresno Valley. And also with these mudslides, the ground, as you even said, has been very dry. A lot of rain is going to come through. The snow, when it melts, will even cause rock slides at those higher elevations. So I'm sure they'll have a lot more weather warnings issued, but for right now they only have a handful.
I mean, we're talking winds and nearing 45 to 65 miles per hour. That's near hurricane force that's hitting California. So lots of wind, rain, Fresno area, 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. In some isolated areas could see 4 inches of snow as well. But for now, we're going to take things over to AJ for a look around Florida.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what's going on around the Sunshine State. Not a whole lot of sunshine to be expected as that sun has set, but it was actually mostly cloudy throughout most of the day throughout Florida as well. Currently looking at 50 degrees here in Tallahassee. Temperatures warming up as we go more south in the state. Miami sitting at 72 degrees. Key West sitting at a very comfortable 70 degrees. Dew points are on the lower side up through the northern part of the state. 41-degree dew point here in Tallahassee. A little bit more moisture to work with as we move down into the peninsula. 58-degree dew point in Miami, 57 degrees in West Palm Beach. Satellite radar here, not having to deal with any precipitation throughout the entire state of Florida. Just a few low-level clouds, keeping things on the cloudier side. As we zoom on into South Florida here, nothing to work with at all. No precipitation expected in South Florida. Expecting mostly clear skies to remain throughout most of the week ahead as well. And looking at tomorrow, going to be absolutely gorgeous Florida weather for January. 75 degrees in Homestead, 73 degrees in Fort Lauderdale, 71 degrees in West Palm Beach. As we go up into the northern part of Florida, looking around Tampa and the Orlando area, just a few clouds off in the Gulf, but no precipitation to deal with throughout the majority of middle Florida as well. Looking into tomorrow, 62 degrees in St. Petersburg, 65 degrees and plenty of sunshine for those of you in Sarasota, 63 degrees in Inverness as well. As we get over into the Panhandle, once again, feel like I'm on a broken record here, but no precipitation to work with here in Florida. Just some cloud cover to deal with. As we get into tomorrow, cooler temperatures as we go more north in Florida, with temperatures only getting into the mid to upper 50s, 56 degrees in Destin and Pensacola, 55 degrees over in Gulf Shores. As we progress throughout the evening tonight, temperatures will be cooler as we look here in Tallahassee, getting down into the upper 30s, getting down into the mid to upper 40s in Orlando and Tampa as well, and remaining comfortably in the 50s as we get into South Florida. Looking at tomorrow, temperatures will rise into the upper 50s here in Tallahassee, a very, very comfortable 66 degrees in Orlando, 64 degrees in Tampa. It's going to be absolutely perfect weather as you're in South Florida for tomorrow. 71 degrees in West Palm Beach and 74 degrees in Miami. But for now, I'm going to send things over to Sammy to wrap it up with our final local of the evening.
All right, thank you so much, AJ. So currently we are looking at 50 degrees out right now. It is pretty cloudy outside. Those clouds have remained throughout today, but we're looking at nicer conditions for tomorrow. Currently 50 degrees in Tallahassee area. Quincy is around 46 degrees though. Apalachicola is 49 degrees, so they are starting to near those 40 degrees for the remainder of the night with those clear skies persisting throughout the night. Now, looking at our dew points, you can see they are mainly in the 40s. That is pretty dry around this area, even into 39 for Thomasville. So like AJ pointed out, chapstick, lotion, you're going to start to feel like you need those throughout the next overnight hours. Surface winds, you can see we are experiencing just some light winds, mainly in Tallahassee, 9 miles per hour coming out of the northwest. Looking at that satellite and radar, you can see just some clouds persisting over the area right now. No rain pretty much around the Gulf region right now, but as far as to come, you can see we are going to be pretty clear outside, just some cloud coverage before our next rainmaker comes throughout the weekend. Now, tonight's forecast, 39 degrees, starting to head into the 30s. Chilly and clear with those clear skies out for tonight. Tomorrow's forecast, though, staying clear, 59 for Tallahassee. Not warming too much. Perry is looking like our warmest spot around the Big Bend area, 61 degrees. Maybe a few passing clouds over in Valdosta with around 57 degrees out for tomorrow. Our day planner is showing starting at around 8 a.m. at around 40 degrees outside. Not warming up too much, 58 degrees we're expecting around 4 p.m. So we may or may not hit that 60-degree mark for tomorrow. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, 59 for Tuesday. Wednesday starting to warm up a bit with those clear skies, so we pay a cost of getting those colder temperatures in the mornings, 37, 36. But like I said before, our next chance of rain is pretty much around Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know rain isn't so pleasant on the weekend, but we do have those warmer temperatures to come with it. Now we're going to take things off to the last desk with AJ and Jake.
Thanks, Sammy. Yeah, and looking at that 7-day forecast, with those warmer temperatures comes along with the rain with it. So it kind of depends on what you prefer. Do you like the warmer temperatures or do you like the sunshine?
Yeah, I know a lot of you guys were away for winter break and weren't quite back. But when we started the year, this warmth that we're looking at, you know, the early part of the weekend, that was nothing compared to what we were seeing on New Year's Day. We had a record high. 81 degrees was our high to start off 2019, and that was the by a couple degrees the warmest we've ever seen for
yeah, I don't. Have we ever gotten into the 80s in the month of January?
We actually have, yeah. Okay. Our record high for the month overall was 83 degrees, but yeah, 81 was the hottest.
Yeah,
we had never had an 80-degree day on January 1st.
On January 1st, wow, yeah, that's
kind of a big way to start the year. But.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So hopefully we'll see some of those warmer temperatures as we progress on into the latter part of February. But as that CPC 6 to 10 day outlook I showed earlier in the show, looks like we're expecting some cooler temperatures definitely on the way. You saw that overnight low of 27 degrees for Sunday night, so that's definitely something we'll keep an eye on. There it is right there.
Yeah, some even more bitter cold has been working. You're going to be working into some areas off to our north and west, so thankfully we're going to be dodging some of those teens. I don't think it's ever been in the teens since I've gotten to Florida State back in 2014. But yeah, some of the coldest air that we have seen really all winter, all fall, all winter, going to be working its way in, you know, for the later part of the weekend there. We really haven't had any of these, you know, major cold snaps
that's
yet.
What I feel like every year we usually get like a 1 week stretch where temperatures struggle to get into the 40s for the daytime highs, and we really haven't seen anything like that this year. And could be looking at that for next week. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Only a couple of nights so far, if I'm not mistaken, this fall, winter, whatever you want to call it, where we've gotten down into the 20s even. So this could be some of our coldest air coming in. But of course, before that, I'm going to enjoy Tuesday.
That's what I was just going to say. You got plenty to look forward to for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wednesday, that looks like the absolute perfect day. Anything you want to do outdoors, Wednesday and Thursday are going to be your days to do it.
Yeah, I got lucky. I was away in Phoenix at the AMS conference last week. We got a bunch of really nice days to close out the week there after it ironically rained a half an inch in Phoenix. That was weird when the first day that we got there, but
yeah, but make sure to follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU weather.
We are all over the place on social media. We're on Facebook as well, facebook.com/guess the URL.
FSU weather, you guessed it. You want to find us on YouTube? You know exactly where to find us at
FSU Weather. Don't forget that part. And don't forget to give the Instagram some love. We're also there at FSU Weather.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll have these nice 3 or 4 days here for the next days, and then the rain comes back.
Good way to start ringing in the spring semester. For all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm meteorologist Jay Carstens.
And I'm student meteorologist AJ Willie. Have a great night.
See you tomorrow.